So yeah, what's up guys, today I'm going to show you how I made one of my instrumentals. I focused on being inspired, by Bring Me The Horizon's Count Your Blessings album, the earlier deathcore era, even the EP before that. So yeah, let's get into it. I would like to start by giving you a few tips, if you are working like me in FL, with maybe routing guitars. So basically what you need to do, I always do, most of the time I'm double tracking guitars. So in playlist I always set up two of these recording inserts, which basically what it does, basically anything that's here is automatically routed to an insert in the mixer, and you can also hit the record here and track your guitar, and it's only going to be here. So basically you do this by clicking on any track, right clicking, track mode, audio track, and you choose whichever you want. So yeah, I chose 1 and 2 for this. One more tip guys, I would also recommend most of the time tracking only your DI, because you never know if someone's going to be interested in your instrumental, or if you in the future are going to be like, oh, this tone doesn't work, I want to change it. So you have flexibility just changing out the amp. You don't have to re-record the entire instrumental, which is tedious, and just puts more of unnecessary work, to be honest. And in FL you can do this. I'm gonna show you a video here because I can't show you right now. Basically you click on an insert, and at the top where you select like the input, you'll select it and choose that you only want to record the input signal. Basically you don't want to record the mixer output, sorry. You only want to the input. And for my rig, that how I track guitar, I only got like the cheapest Jackson, 7-string, really budget guys. Basically what I did, I started playing guitar like almost 2 years ago, and what I did, like best budget 7-string, and like did some research. I'm not even sure if it's the best, and just it catch my eye and I bought it. It's pretty cheap, the pickups are not the greatest, but I still made it work in my opinion. I like my tones, but there is definitely room for improvement as always. So yeah, and what I do is, got an instrument cable, and I've got like Focusrite interface, and all I do is just connect, into the instrumental input, into the instrumental. I connect the cable, connect the guitar, and that's all. I don't have any DI box, anything really. So yeah, that's how I track a guitar. Let's start with the first section guys. Here is just the intro. You will really hear the inspiration from Bring Me The Horizon. This sounds like, I don't know, Medusa, I think. The intro is similar. So yeah guys, as you could hear, this is sort of like an intro, then for introduction breakdown, basically for the start, yeah. And what you want to like do here is kinda make the drums follow the guitar riff, if you get me. As you could hear, there are like bursts, like eighth notes, and basically what I did, I followed the snare. The snare pattern follows the eighth notes, which basically emphasizes the chugs, even more. And when it plays the higher notes, it's like tom, kick, and cymbals, yeah. And that's basically the whole idea behind it. I also, guys, you need to play around with the velocities. Definitely do that if you want to make it sound more realistic, which in my opinion is making it sound better, When the track like kind of breathes, got life to it, I think it sounds much better. In my opinion, it adds a lot to the instrumental and the whole vibe, So yeah, as you can see, and then drum fill, simple drum fill, and then it goes into the breakdown. And also what I noticed on the record, drummer is great, and he always like adds these simple accents here. That is to the, and he does the same with the cymbals, like he hits them twice. Some of the drum parts follow what the guitar does, and basically I kept this in mind for the whole instrumental. You will hear it so on and on, okay? And for the last 2 bars, right here, I just took the riff from the start because I think it sounds as a nice transition, and I wrote a drum fill, and listen how it sounds. Guys, as you can see, it's really, the velocities are random, it's not on time, because who would play this on time, and again, I don't know why, I just prefer like it's like loose, you know, and I don't know why, I just prefer it, then it would be played perfectly on time. And also what I do is I double some of the notes, you know, and they are not like, because basically, you know, when drummer hits the tom with both sticks, you know, there is delay a bit, so this is exactly what I do, you know, guys, just turn off the magnet and just, you know, second note and just like place it more forward or backward, you know. And also, if I'm talking about the MIDI again, don't be worried to shift the notes, you know, guys. Definitely is kind of a nonsense that the kicks, snares and cymbals are played perfectly on time. So look, guys, the kicks are not perfectly on grid, you know, the same goes for the snare, and again even on cymbals. See, guys, there is delay, this is like rushing, there is dragging a bit, you know. And if you know what I would do, guys, even when you have two cymbal hits, like make it like this, that they are not on the same, you know, they are not played at the same time, you know. Small changes like this like do a lot in my opinion, yeah, and give it more definitely a realistic sound. For example, the drummer is playing something fast, so there is a big chance that he's going to rush because, you know, of the hype, the energy. So and here is rushing like when he started playing the fast notes. That's basically the intro and the first part. The next part is basically I took you know, the intro riff and made it into a whole section because I think the riff sounds great, and it's blast beats. The bass only follows the low notes, so it do. I think it has a really, like, I don't know, I like this section. It has this some like good riff and a good bounce, you know. Just listen, guys, and I'm break down it, you know, after I play it. Let's break down the drums again to give you guys more examples on what I did. Again, here they are not perfectly on grid. Well, seems I forgot to move the kicks, but whatever. See, here is again not perfectly on grid, and here is rushing, you know, because he plays a lot of notes and you are going to get hyped up when playing. See, the same goes for cymbals. It's randomized, guys, you know, it's not always the same. And yeah, again, I utilize a lot of these accents. See, like it has this nice bounce, you know, and keeps the instrumental interesting. And again, you know, this you know, the drums emphasize the high notes of the riff, like so as you can hear. And this, then I made some catchy drum feel, like you know. I think this sounds really great because basically the riffs go the drums. So definitely, guys, you don't even have to make deathcore, just in general, try these rules, try you know, applying this to your instrumentals, and I think they will definitely add something interesting to them, you know. So yeah, okay, the next 4 bars. Try to switch it up, you know, so the drums are not the same, and this basically this kind of like it's kind of playing the off beats, or I don't know how to call it, you know. It has this nice groove again, and in deathcore, that's in all MySpace deathcore, and from this era in general, you want the groove, so focus on it, guys. Now for the next part, this is kind of more of a metalcore riff, and it's a nice section because finally the bass does something different, you know. It basically plays the root notes of the riff, but again, it's blast beats. Here I'm going to play it. You know, so yeah, guys, as you can hear the riff, that's the riff, you know, metalcore riff, really just palm muting and picking the higher strings while, you know, alternating between the low, playing the bass notes and playing the top melody, you know, blah blah blah, you get me, guys. And yeah, the bass is just following the root notes of the riff. For the drums again, guys, like I went out on those drums. What I noticed from the record, that there is always, you know, playing the heads, and in between you put simple hits for some like groove, you know, and emphasize some of the parts of the riff. So that's exactly what I did, you know. You know, in my opinion, it's much better than just having a normal you know, like normal blast beat deathcore where it is only the hi-hats or the bells, you know, and I feel like this sounds so much better, but again, depends on the context, I guess, and what you are guys going for. So yeah, that's the part, guys. it's definitely a bit more uplifting, you know, as always. After these heavy parts, it's a bit more like mellow and laid back, but I think it still sounds aggressive to some degree, you know, and I really like these parts, you know, in the instrumentals. Now for the next part. So basically here comes the breakdown part, which alternates with a new riff, and I'm sure you will definitely hear the inspiration here, guys. So yeah, breakdown and then riff, breakdown then riff. You know, I did something similar in the last instrumental. I still advise you guys to do it, and always put sub drop and impact, you know, whenever the breakdown section, you know, of the whole 12 bars is. 16 bars, sorry guys. This is how it sounds. And this goes on for 2 more times, the alternation, and for the 3rd time it only plays the breakdown and then it switches into a different section. So now for the drums. For the breakdown part, I mean, it's self-explanatory, guys. Again, I shifted, you know, those hits so they are not perfectly on time. The same goes for the cymbals, and just playing, you know, China for the riff part. Basically all it does, the first part is not, you know, double kicks, and then it switches into double kicks and the guitar riff gets harmonized. I think, again, as like kind of a climax, you know, to the whole 16 bar section, if you get me, and tells you, oh, he's going to repeat again. I think so, yeah, definitely. What I've noticed, synergy between everything is really important in these instrumentals. Like, everything complements each other. Again, here I can show you the MIDI if you want, guys. Just, again, alternating between hi-hats and cymbal hits in between, and then like again drum fill at the end of some, you know. Now for the next section, which, you know, this will be a typical Bring Me the Horizon thing. I think this is mostly more common in Suicide season, Unalive season, where there are more metalcore elements like melodic choruses or bridges, you know. You get me, guys, if you listen to old Bring Me the Horizon, and that's exactly what I did here. It's basically like metalcore chorus, kind of. It's a bit more hardcore, if you get me. Like, the rhythm is a bit more hardcore, you know, and fast, and still has energy, and there is this aggression to it, if you get me. So yeah, let's listen to it. The same thought as behind the melodic riff, as it's supposed to give a bit more, like, again, a climax and more uplifting, you know, but this is a lot more uplifting, you know, and energetic, you know, nice change, nice contrast. It gives a nice contrast to the whole instrumental, you know, and also progression, I feel like, and that's what I love, you know, is having progression. So the whole instrumental always has its purpose. It's not repeating, you know, because it evolves, if you get me, you know. Now for the drums. At the start I didn't, you know, I think this sounds really great when the drummer is only playing the kick and the cymbals. It's like a transition, you know, start to the whole chorus thing. So, and then it's just, you know, straight chorus with the snare, everything, typical rhythm, but it's more hardcore, you know, it's more fast. And every 16 bars, the last bar switch to a breakdown. I think gives it more variation and still implies that it's hardcore, metalcore hardcore at the end of the day, you know. So yeah, I repeated this, and then we have a switch into a new BPM. This is more like a slam part, you know, slamming hardcore stuff again, and with pinch harmonics I utilize. Basically this is similar to the riff from the first video, you know, where at the end of every 8 bars, you know, there is like a tremolo lead, so basically I give the riff a tail, you know, and it's just slamming. So let's listen. So as you can hear, guys, there was a transition, drum transition, that just again makes the listener get used to the new BPM, basically before getting into the another part, slamming part. You know, I feel like it would have been out of place just to go from this, you know, chorus into like slamming part, you know, so I try to give the person a bit of a break and maybe get the band to get used to the new BPM, you know, get synchronized, and it's pretty simple. Again, I utilize the doubling notes. It is like for me it's ear candy, like this, where you hit the toms with both sticks, you know. I don't know why it sounds really satisfying and I like to use it. And yeah, on the snare hit, I put the bass drop and impact, you know. It's different than putting it on the job, it doesn't matter. And yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory. Most of it is, again, blast beats, you know. I just played around with the hi-hats again. It's basically the same, guys. If you are interested, you can look, you know. Because I went over this, you know, in the video already, so just take a look, guys, if you want to stop the video. Here is how the whole section looks. So yeah, and now for the most important section, guys, the breakdown. Yeah, the damped breakdown. This track has 2 breakdowns, you know. Let's listen to the whole section. So yeah, guys, as you can see, typical, you know, old school deathcore, MySpace deathcore breakdown, and I love it. They sound so satisfying. So again, a drum fill for the BPM switch. There is complete silence, you know, so people get used to the drummer changing the BPM, and that goes again when it's changing into the even more slower breakdown, and just a typical breakdown formula. Playing the China, you know, maxing out the velocities on the China because, you know, hitting it like hell on the breakdowns. And as you can see, just shifted the time. Again, pretty straightforward, guys. Just if you want to look at the MIDI, if you want to, you know, maybe get inspired by how I map, you know, these drums, how I use the velocities, just to give you guys some insight. On the start, you know, of each bar, oh, no bar, I would say, like, depends, try it out, guys, but to emphasize the impact, always play two cymbals, like China and cymbal maybe, you know. Because, I mean, that's, you know, guys, if you look at drummers, they always do that, you know. So yeah, guys, I mean, and about this drum fill, this is quite different to the other ones, because as you can see, it doesn't switch to the BPM right away. It slowly changes into the BPM while the drummer is playing the fill. See? Sorry, that's an interesting thing you can try, guys, if you want to switch up the transitions. But I don't know how in real life. Like, guys, let me know in the comments, like drummers or anyone, is it hard to play this in real life, like changing the BPM while you are playing the drums? Is it hard, or because I don't know, to me it seems really hard as a, you know, non-drummer. So yeah, that's it guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Again, let me know in the comments what I could improve upon, change, you know, talk about anything more if you want some exact tutorials from me, like, you know, some. So yeah, let me know guys, definitely, you know, in the comments. I read all of them. I appreciate any of you guys really for watching. Thank you so much and see you next time.